Hey everyone, Justin Conroy here, and today I want to talk to you about the top 5 benefits of having an HSA. If this is your first time here and you want to learn tips, tricks, and hacks related to personal finance, how to build wealth, and how to better manage your money, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. So what is an HSA? Well, an HSA is a health savings account, and you can qualify for one of these as long as you're enrolled in a high deductible insurance plan as defined by the IRS. Now, an HSA is a special type of account that lets you plan for your medical expenses and has a lot of other benefits, 5 of which I'll get into right now. Number 5 on my list is that the money that you put into your health savings account never really goes away because you're allowed to roll over the money that you put in from year to year to year. Now, this is unlike a flexible spending account, which you basically have to use or lose. There's really only a few ways in which you can lose money out of your health savings account. One of those is that you can spend the money on qualified medical expenses. Another is you can withdraw the money for non-medical expenses and pay a penalty. Or you can lose money to a bad investment, which we'll get into in a few minutes. Number 4 on my list for benefits of having an HSA is that the money that you want to contribute to the HSA is either pre-tax or tax deductible, depending on your situation. If you have an HSA that's managed by your employer is most likely going to handle the task of taking the money out of your paycheck and putting that into your health savings account on your behalf, depending on how much you define. And that's all going to happen before taxes are calculated. Now, if you're like me and you don't have an employer that manages the HSA for you, you'll have to do this yourself once you get your paycheck, but it's really not a big deal because all it means is that when tax time comes, you count the contributions that you made to your HSA as a deduction on your taxes. Either way, you don't pay taxes on the contributions. Now, this brings us to the third benefit of an HSA, which is that the withdrawals you make for qualified medical expenses are also tax-free. Now, in conjunction with having tax-free contributions and tax-free withdrawals for those qualified medical expenses, it basically means that depending on your tax bracket, you're getting a huge discount for paying medical bills. Take, for example, if you're the average American making about $45,000 a year, this basically means that you get roughly a 20% discount on your medical bills. So let's say you have a medical bill of about $1,000, and if you pay for it out of your pre-tax money in your HSA, it's basically like paying $800 out of your net pay, your post-tax pay, which is a pretty amazing thing. 20% off is no joke. Moving right along to number 2 on my list of benefits of having an HSA, and this is one of my favorites. That pre-tax money that you contributed to your HSA is available for investment. Not only investment, but tax-free growth investment options. This is incredible. Now, there are a few stipulations with this. The money that's in your HSA can be used to invest, and that investment can grow tax-free for qualified medical expenses, and that's the important part. You can always withdraw the money in your HSA for qualified medical expenses tax-free, including any growth that you get on those investments. Now, if you go the route of using the money for non-qualified medical expenses, everything's going to depend on your age. Before the age of 65, you can withdraw the money at any time for non-qualified medical expenses, but the money will be taxed as income, and you will pay a 20% penalty. After the age of 65, you can basically treat your health savings account just like a traditional IRA. All that means is that you can pull the money out at any time, penalty-free, and count it as income. And because of that, it will be taxed as income, just like a traditional IRA. And in that way, any growth that you had in your investments is not necessarily tax-free, but it is tax-deferred, which is still really good. Now, finally, the number 1 benefit of having an HSA is the very, very, very low premiums. And this, compared to a PPO, can be an incredible difference. Depending on your employer and the options that you're presented with for health insurance, a PPO can be incredibly high. And the unfortunate part about a PPO is that no matter how sick you are, no matter what sort of procedures you have done, no matter how many times you visit the doctor, you're going to pay those premiums no matter what, and they're going to be extremely high. With an HSA, the premiums are generally very, very low, and in this way you can pay a very low premium, and if you're extremely healthy, for example, and never go to the doctor, you don't have to pay all the high prices of a PPO. And you can still have good health insurance. Now, the interesting thing is when you start comparing numbers of top tier PPOs and their premiums to the HSA maximum contributions per year plus their premiums. In a lot of cases, and this is going to depend on your situation and your situation alone, you may want to look at those two numbers because in a lot of cases, the max contributions on an HSA plus the premiums on those HSAs compared to the premiums for the PPOs, the top tier PPOs, are the same or very close to it. But with an HSA, you at least have the chance that you're not going to get as sick and you're not going to spend nearly as much money. I myself has saved thousands and thousands of dollars since my wife and I switched to an HSA years ago, and it's been one of the best decisions we've ever made. Now, with all that being said, I do want to be very clear that an HSA is not an end-all, be-all, best choice in the world for everyone out there. This is something that you're going to have to assess for yourself, depending on your health, depending on your age, and depending on the options that you're presented with. And for a lot of people, it is going to be the best option, but for a lot of other people, it's not going to be the best option. So be sure to check for your own and see what's right for you. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future videos, please leave me a note down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you leave. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one.